see, the thing about that incredible edit I just did is that every single one of those was an album cover. See, you probably already knew that, but the point I'm trying to make is none of them are art pieces. But they actually are. Pretty clever, right? The thing about music is that you need something visual to attach it to, because last time I checked, my brain isn't thinking of audio waves when it remembers things. And unless you're Beyonce and create a music video for every song on the album, that visual is going to be the cover of said album. One of the reoccurring things you'll notice is that popular artists will use their reputation as a household name to their advantage in album art. By this, I mean they will put no effort into the album art. Now, there isn't anything bad about that. Daft Punk just slapping their name on a black background doesn't stop Discovery from being one of the best albums I've ever heard. I met God, and he said to me around the world 180 times. Weezer has turned it into a sort of tradition to self-title their albums and repeat the same cover. Except the white and black album, where they stood really far away and then covered themselves in goop respectively. You know, just to keep things interesting. Consistency is good. When you see these four college dudes awkwardly bumping shoulders, you know you are about to hear the best guitar riff of the 90s. And sometimes an artist gets to a point in time where they are just so big that they don't even need to tell you their name anymore. You just know when you look at their face. Daft Punk sat around 8 years and then all of a sudden broke onto the scene and went... And then everybody was like, whoa, oh my goodness, they're back. Daft Punk is back and they're staying. Am I right or am I right? Am I right? Please tell me. Please tell me I'm right. And sometimes this strategy can work for newcomers. Frank Ocean's first studio album just has the color orange with the name at the top. No actual art to be seen. You know, you see this and you think to yourself, alright, this guy's confident, he means business, let's see what we got. And it turns out it's the best album of that year, go figure. And sometimes you're Kanye West and you decide, you know what? You already know my name, you already know what I'm about, you know you're gonna listen to this either way. So here you go, 2-hour album, no cover day. Sorry, I'm too busy being a Nazi or something. So at the end of the day, there's nothing really bad about this sort of cover. It's just a bit underwhelming, I guess. What it's really missing is... Name recognition is one thing, but what about the vibes, man? The vibes! MF Doom officially stepped in the ring with this album art replicating the cartoony Golden Age Marvel comics of the 60s, showing that you are about to have a goofy and fun time with some incredible beats and lyricism from the greatest lyricist hip-hop has to offer. He continues to... MF, stop. No, I'm trying to talk. He continues this aesthetic with his next album, Food, which you should listen to, reinforcing his atmosphere of not at all serious subject matter. You see this? You know what's about to go down. And it's gonna be great, okay? And then he goes... And then you're like, wow, okay, something new's going on. What's this about? Why is he grayscale now? Why does he look like Madonna? Why is there an orange square in the corner? What is this? What's going on? I mean, like, what? Pink Floyd's album Metal has this really cool and vague album cover where you're like, oh, that's interesting. It's a little surreal. It's a little like, what am I looking at? And apparently you're looking at an ear underwater according to some guy named Storm Thorgerson. Well, guess what? Thorgerson. What was it again? Guess what, Thorgerson? I don't care if it's an ear underwater. I like the colors. I'll buy it for the colors alone, okay? The Beatles? Oh, the Beatles. Now, they got style. I mean, look at this. Look at that. They got style. It might not be good style, but you know, they have it. They still have it, okay? Tyler, the creator, is kind of incredible at developing an aesthetic for his albums, which are all pretty unique from one another. You got Goblin, and wow, he's a Satanist, the Heathen. This album got Tyler banned from both New Zealand and the United Kingdom. And you get that sort of vibe just looking at those inky pools for eyes. Then Igor has the stark contrast between the paper cutout of a grayscale Tyler and the otherwise relaxing pink tone. It lets you know, yeah, this is going to be an album you'll be bopping your head to for months, but it also isn't necessarily going to make you happy. And his most recent album, Call Me If You Get Lost, has a simple but pleasant ID card modeled after those of the early 1900s. Tyler has both a weird outfit and a weird expression. It gives this classy and eccentric sort of feel, which is exactly the character Tyler plays on the album. But as I sift through these covers, while good in their own right, I cannot help but recall the term, all style, no... A great album cover is made better than a good one by way of theme. An album cover, above all else, should tell you precisely what it is about. You can see it as being the album's statement of thesis, so to speak. Of course, this is only limited to certain albums. I doubt the objective of Justin Bieber was to provide a political message to back up his album Under the Mistletoe, but you never know. Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here remains one of my favorites. With this image of a man on fire, it immediately grabs you. Did this businessman just set that dude on fire? Nuh-uh, he can't do that. It's an expression of Pink Floyd's disappointment and anger with the music industry, which just so happens to be a constant theme of the album, like I just said. Oh my goodness. Frank Ocean's Blonde has a great, simple, tasteful cover, with him crying inside of the shower, trying to conceal his tears beneath the wave of shower water. It lets you know, hey, we all cry in the shower sometimes. It's okay. It's Frank Ocean informing you about the emotional honesty of the entire album. You know, you can see where this is headed just by seeing this photograph.
The markings on your surface.
And then Kanye West says this is the life of Pablo, one defined by a difficult question, one he very directly poses to the listener through the album art. Inspired by my acclaimed 5th grade Google Slides presentation, The New Transformers Group, Ye asks the penultimate question of any well-lived life. Which one? Family or booty? It's a difficult question, I know. This album doesn't tell you who it's by because you know who it's by. It's Ye, baby! It has a very distinct quality, that of incompleteness. Kanye is bipolar, and you can very clearly see that. You look at this, you know it's gonna go from
Yes, God.
and then 2 songs later, it's gonna go
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous. Goddamn! I made that bitch famous.
It kind of has it all. Name recognition, style, and substance. So, is this the peak of album art? Has Ye done it? Can we go home now? No. One of the best album covers I've ever seen is not this. No. The best album cover I've ever seen, period, came out a year prior. It uses all 3 of these in a cacophony of eye-catching, emotionally investing imagery that sticks in your mind like a sore thumb. But good, like a really pleasant, nice thumb. Not sore, but it sticks in a good way, like it's a good thing. Like
all's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
whew, this album's gotta be one of the best of
All time.
In the album, no title, no words, just a stark photograph of a dream come to fruition. A thickly layered statement on the state of the states. It's Kendrick Lamar in celebration of a new America. As he put it, just taking a group of the homies who haven't seen the world and putting them in these places that they haven't necessarily seen or only on TV and showing them something different other than the neighborhood and then being excited about it. I mean, this has got to be one of the best contemporary photographs of the 2010s. You see this, you will remember it. It's powerful. This is what you see in the history books. You put this up in an art gallery, some dude with a Stanley Kubrick shirt is gonna say another stellar work from the great Gordon Parks, and you know what? Yeah, he deserves that. It's that good. Wow.